Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Monday, August the 5th, 2024. Monday, August the 5th. Well, you know what? I was in shock, y'all. I didn't see that coming. The baby's gone. They could not save the baby. Well, look, it's looking like Christina fell 3 stories, maybe four, right? So logically, that kind of impact would be devastating. And Christina has actually sustained a lot of injuries herself. You know, they actually did the emergency C-section to save the baby just in case Christina was really, gonna crash and go the wrong way. Well, unfortunately, they couldn't save the baby. They were able to make Christina stable enough, but her vitals were okay. As soon as she woke up, she's like, "Where's my baby? Where's my baby?" And the doctor said, "We did everything we could. We could not save her." So now remember, this is the first time Christina found out she was having a girl because Molly and TJ didn't want to know, didn't want her to know. So she was crying and she goes, "I need to see my sister. I need to be the one to tell my sister." So he went out to get Molly, right? And Molly comes in. She's optimistic. Okay, good. Christina wants to see me because Molly got there. As soon as the message got to her, she ran right over there, right? And Alexis was, there. Sonny, TJ, Jordan, Dante, because Anna made Dante stop questioning Ava and had Chase take over, which is the way it should have been. Dante is too close. And of course, Ava was accusing him of bias. She goes, "Really? I don't think he should have been the one questioning me anyway, because he was trying to coerce answers out of me, coerce them, right?" And Anna's just looking at Ava, and she goes, "That's okay. Detective Falconeri, go to the hospital, be with your family." And Dante says, "No, there's some more answers I need to get." She goes, "No, no, no. Detective Chase can get those answers. You go be with your family. It's an order." So he leaves, and Anna says, "Detective Chase can take over." So Chase says, "Let's start from the very beginning." He's recording her. And she painted just the biggest lie about Christina. You know what? I think she's bipolar like her father. She came in manic. Oh, now it's never been discussed or talked about if Christina does have some bipolar traits. I mean, there are times when she does go a mile a minute and it is hereditary, but that is absolutely not what happened. And she was in a rage, just the same old lie she told Dante, but she really hammed it up for Chase. And Chase is just looking at her like, am I supposed to believe this? But he's not saying nothing. He's letting her give her statement, right? And Trina is still in the lobby area. Anna's going to question Trina, and Trina tells her everything she knows. And then when they're done with Ava, Trina says, "Is it okay for me to talk with her?" And they're like, "Yeah." So she goes over, and Ava's like, "Oh, Trina, honey, I'm so, uh, you know, sorry that you've been brought into this." And she goes, "Well, I was a witness." And she goes, "Of what?" She goes, "I was actually at the pool when Christina fell." And Ava says, "I didn't know that." And she goes, "Yeah." And I looked up and I saw you at the window looking down. And at that point, Anna tells Trina, "Listen, thank you so much for your statement. You can go ahead and leave." And Ava says, "Oh, good, good. Come on, Trina, let's go get a bite to eat." And Anna looked at her and said, "Oh, I'm sorry. No, no, no. You're not going anywhere, Miss Jerome." She goes, "What do you mean?" She goes, No. I need your statement transcribed so I can look it over. She said, well, surely I don't need to be here for that, right? And Anna says, yes, you do, because I may have some questions and it'll be much better if you're right here. She goes, are you charging me? She goes, oh, no charges yet, but I want you still here, right? So Ava says, in that case, I won't say another word until my attorney is present. Get Scott Baldwin. And Anna's like, okay, you care, right? So now we have let's go back to the hospital scene. Molly goes in and says, the doctor says you wanted to speak to me. And Christina's like, the baby is gone. I lost our daughter. And she said our daughter. She didn't say your daughter. She goes, I lost our daughter. And she goes, or she said, she's gone, or it's something like that. And Molly's like, it was a girl? She goes, yes, it was a girl. I'm so sorry. It should have been me, not the baby. And Molly's like, Christina, don't say that. Don't say that. No, it should never have been you, you know, like I would never want the baby. If I had to choose, well, she didn't say if I had to choose, I'm choosing you. But look, there's no choice to make. So you say the right things, right? Because look, TJ chose the baby. And I think Molly, I don't know. And I'm not going to venture to guess. I think she'd have chose her sister. Yeah, I think so. Because Molly had less of vested interest. The baby had none of her DNA. TJ, that was his daughter. And his main thing would have been do everything you can to save my daughter. So anyway, they're crying together, right? TJ's talking to Jordan, and Jordan saying, listen, son, you tell me how you're feeling. And he goes, I know I should be strong. I can't say, what I'm really feeling. She goes, wait, oh no. I'm your mother, and this is a safe space for you. You can say whatever you are feeling to me. Right? So he goes, I'm just so angry. I am so angry. I knew it shouldn't have been Christina. I knew. And for me to go along with it, I'm just so mad and I'm so angry. And, and so she goes, it's okay. It's okay for you to be angry. You've lost another child. Really. Two for him. But guess what? I don't think that first surrogate had a miscarriage. I really don't. And let's see, she should have had that baby now. Really. I honestly don't believe she had a miscarriage. And something's going to happen to her, I think, and that baby's going to be dropped in their lap. Because her husband, something happens, and her husband's not going to want to raise TJ's baby, right? So we'll see. We'll see. So anyway, he's his mother's there comforting and consoling him as a mother should be, because she is his safe space. And I'm happy he had Jordan. So Dante arrives at the hospital and he's standing near Sonny, said, Dad, I'm so sorry, for what's happened. And, and he's asking, how is Christina? And Alexis is there. And then Molly comes out the room crying because the doctor has already told them. The doctor, before Molly came in, the doctor came out. And when Molly went into the room, he told the rest of the family that there was nothing they could do. It was too much trauma from the fall of that height, on the baby. So the injuries were too severe. So anyway, Molly comes out crying. And she goes, I'm sure you all have heard. And she heads straight for her mother. Oh, and Alexis is reaching to grab her and she's kissing her. And I'm so, and they're hugging each other. And Alexis is looking at her. She's crying. Sonny is He's crying inside because he's upset. His grandchild, that was he lost a grandchild. So Molly looks up at Alexis and she says, Christina needs her mom. As she's crying, thinking, but I need you too. But Christina needs her mom. So Alexis looks at her in her face, and she kisses her and she goes into Christina. As soon as she gets into the room with Christina, pretty much Christina's doing the same thing Molly did, but from laying in the bed. Oh, she needed her mother, to hug and hold her. Okay. And Alexis is talking to her, trying to, and she's crying. And I think Christina says a few words to her. And then Christina starts to go into cardiac arrest. So the machines are beeping, beeping, beeping. And Alexis is like, somebody get in here. We need help. We need help. So she goes running out. Now we know the doctors are going to come running in. Okay. But before that, Sunny was going to go into the room with Alexis, behind Alexis. Molly blocks the door. You are not going to go in there to see my sister. And he goes, what do you mean? This is all your fault. And he goes, I didn't have nothing to do with this. She goes, she was in Ava Jerome's room because of you. Because of you. She did not want to have to testify against you, your criminal activity. She didn't want to have to testify to you brutally beating a rookie, or she said cadet, one of the two. Probably said cadet, and she goes, something you did, right? And you've never paid for. So she goes, so no, you will not go in there. And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, Molly, you know what? He's giving it to you that you're upset. But Christina was in there because of her father, Ava's room. Nobody told her to do that. Seriously. As a matter of fact, everybody told her, don't, avoid confrontation. She was going to be confrontational. Who do you think Christina would want to see? She'd want to see her daddy too. She would have wanted to see her mother and her father. Molly, that was her grief talking. And Sonny could have said, because he did. He goes, I am so sorry. You've lost your daughter. You're grieving. And he should have said, however, that's my baby, my daughter, laying in that hospital room. And Molly, I absolutely am going to go in there and see her because I'm her father. If she doesn't want me in there, she will tell me she doesn't want me in there. But anyway, he just looks at Molly and he turns and he slowly walks away, and Dante's looking at him. And Dante didn't go after him because remember, they had an argument earlier and he's like, you know what? He needs to marinate with this on his own, right? So Sonny ends up going to the roof and he puts his jacket on the roof ledge. And I'm thinking, okay, is he going to try to jump off? Is this where they're going to have Morgan come? Because he's looking over the edge, right? And the show ends there. The show ends there. So we shall see. I think Morgan comes tomorrow. I think so. I don't know for sure. But he comes this week. Or Sonny sees him this week. We have Jocelyn goes to Dex's, needing some comfort. She tells him what happened, and how she doesn't know if she did enough. And Dex is like, you kept her alive until the paramedics came. Once the paramedics came, it's their job to keep her alive until they can get her to the hospital. And then it's the doctor's job. She goes, Jocelyn. She goes, but I froze for a split second. And he goes, yeah, to probably your lifeguard training kicked in and you were probably thinking of the right things to do. She goes, but maybe I was too slow. But she goes, no, no, you did the right thing. And she was deaf on it, right? So anyway, they end up in the bed because first they were kissing and kissing. He stops. He goes, no, no, I don't want this to go too fast, too soon. And she's like, no, no. Look, she waited long enough. She was ready. So they were back in the sack again. And pretty much that way. Now, I don't know. I'm on the fence about is Natalia right? She insisted, she made Blaze leave the hospital with her because she said, look around. They're family. You're not family. You and I don't need to be here. And she goes, no, no, I love Christina. She goes, and we definitely don't need to argue. And I'm thinking, no, Natalia, you need to go. Because Blaze could have sat right there worrying and crying with the rest of the family. They know how Christina feels about Blaze. It's Natalia that did not need to be there. But Natalia drug her out. She goes, no, they're not going to tell you, but you don't belong here. And I'm thinking, no, see, there you go again. There you go again, Natalia. Right? So she takes her. I guess Blaze has a low blood sugar thing to where she has to eat, which they've never brought up before. But, so she and Blaze and Allie talk. And Allie was saying, she goes, I know you really care about Christina and I'm accepting it. She goes, really? Are you really accepting it? She goes, because you really know nothing about me and Christina's relationship and how I truly feel about Christina. So what Natalia told her, she goes, then why don't you tell me, honey? Why don't you tell me about you and Christina? And Allie looked at her and she's like, oh. So she starts telling her mother and blah, blah, blah. And I fast forward. And then when they come back to it, she was saying something about, after years, this is how I was raised, how just years of conditioning. It is still going to take me some time. She's saying, but I now have a better understanding. I do, honey. I have a better understanding. So, yeah, whatever, we shall see. But my whole thing is now that there's been Jordan calls Blaze and Jordan gives her an update and she tells her the baby didn't make it. And, you know, Christina's in ICU, but this is before the machines go off. So actually, Allie should go back to the hospital because look, family now reached out to her. She's important enough for the family to have given her an update, meaning Jordan. So now it's time for her to get there because Christina is going to look for her, for comfort. And she needs to know that Allison was sitting out there waiting with her family, not off with her mother, because her mother said she shouldn't have been there. And Christina be like, well, you should have known that you should have been there. I would have needed to have seen you, not Alexis definitely should have gone in first. And look, the cardiac arrest would have happened, but Blaze would have at least been there. So that was it, everybody. I'm shocked. I'm surprised that they had this baby. General Hospital will let a baby die in a heartbeat, won't they? They really, really will. Now, Christina better pull through. And I honestly think she is because now, once she pulls through, she is going to definitely say Ava pushed her. And then those pictures are going to surface. Somebody took pictures of all that. And the way it looks, you see Ava grabbing her or grabbing at her, right? And she's going to corroborate that statement. She really is. So Ava's going to be in some hot, hot water. and I can't wait. So let's go to comment corner. Comment corner. My goodness, everybody, in the mid 60s on the comment corner. I'm going to go from the top to the bottom. Let me do my trusty dusty stopwatch. And NK Rose says, it's the first time in a while that Joss acknowledged that Christina is her stepsister. I would blame Nina for the windows. Those windows were super paper thin. Dacia says, Sonny Corinthos is leaving GH. He's retired. He's retiring from the mob life and leaving GH. And he is going to pass it on to Jason. Jason would definitely take it over for Sonny Corinthos. Sonny Corinthos might leave by killing Ava and go to jail. We shall see. But I do know Maurice does feel it's time for him to retire. I do know that. So we'll see how they're going to write him out. You know, Annette says, TJ is on my last nerves. I didn't really pass any judgment on TJ today. He just found out he's lost yet another child. So I'm giving him his feelings, whatever they are. You know, it is okay. I see he and Molly not making it through this because TJ is going to hate Christina and not want Molly to have anything to do or have any compassionate words for her own sister. And that's not Molly, right? That is just not Molly. And I think this is what's going to be the dividing factor. Now, what Rick Lansing is coming to town for, it has to be to prosecute Sonny. Because I thought it was going to be for, you know, the baby wars, but that's not going to happen. So then Carly says, TJ calling Alexis a coward is out of line. But everything else he said was true. Why does Molly and TJ need to back off, but not give the same energy to Christina? Her actions to me amplify that she's on Christina's side. You mean Alexis? No. I think she's trying to keep the peace. Remember, she's already talked to Christina, and she does know Christina was leaning towards keeping that baby. But she can't out and out say that to TJ and Molly. So what she said, Christina was looking for any reason. So she's saying, back off. Just give her some time, right? Alexis was not on her side saying this baby is yours. And she kept saying, I really wish you would remember the promise you made your sister. Alexis has been neutral, but still reminding Christina why she's pregnant in the first place, for your sister and TJ. Now, let's look at historically. Molly has always been the favorite daughter. Always. And that still has not changed, right? B. Brown says it was Jocelyn that said, I'm her sister. Yep. Wendy says they're going to have to hold Sonny back from smashing Ava to pieces. She only thinks of herself, rearranging the crime scene. So no one would know that John Cates and her were together plotting against Sonny. She is forgetting Trina saw him there in the towel. I know. NK Rose says Alexis has every right to be neutral. I agree. She gave them the opportunity to avoid the problem. And let's see. And then Wendy says to NK Rose's comment, but no one listened. TJ's ridiculous. He's not father material right now. No common sense. Well, guess what? He is not going to be a father right now. And then NK Rose says to Wendy, I think he would be a great dad, but he should have signed the paperwork if he didn't trust Christina from the beginning. NK Rose says, I feel like this is the first time Joss called Christina her sister. I kind of think so too. Right? TJ, I really don't see Molly and TJ going through the surrogacy again. And you know what? Adopt a baby, adopt a child, guys. Just do that. Right? And Sabrina says, hi, Daily Recap Lady. Thank you for the recap. Ava, by not telling the truth, is sealing her fate. I still think that Christina is going to lie and say Ava pushed her. Yep, I think so too. When she recalls what really happened in the room. The surveillance pictures that Sonny is having taken showing exactly what happened, but they will never see the light of day, in my opinion. I think they will, because I think they're going to be more corroborating Christina's story than Ava's. Daily recap lady, you said TJ was speaking for Molly, but in my opinion, Molly was speaking for TJ and trying to control the narrative between TJ and Christina. That's how this all got out of control. That is so true. And everybody go back and read the rest of Sabrina's comment. Excellent comment, Sabrina. She goes on into some more detail. Great job. Marie says TJ had no right to talk to Alexis that way. And let's just say Molly and TJ should have got married, in my opinion, if they wanted to start a family anyway. Wendy says his mouth is ugly and disrespectful. TR Drescher says Alexis wants to remain neutral. And TJ and Molly and Christina keep sucking her back in. I know TJ was being unfair to Alexis. Marie says Ava grabbed Christina. Everyone didn't see that. Yeah, she tried to grab her arm and Christina pulled away, and that's when it happened. I don't know if it got a full grab, but it was, she was grabbing her and Christina was pulling away. So yeah, I mean it connected the grab. So Wendy says Ava did. No, she did. Ava selfish and crazy. Chris should not have gone there. She was too bold. Yep, and she regrets it now, right? Marie says every pregnancy is different, and remember, Sasha has drugs in her system in spite of the facts. When Sasha was pregnant, I don't think she had drugs in her system at all. Marie says, yes, no cop came to look into who was occupying that room. That allowed Ava to reset the scene. I know that should have been the first place that some police officers went, especially detectives. Angie says Ava panicked. She should not have moved Kate's luggage because that's evidence, and that would have helped her case. That's so true. And they're going to find it now because Anna said forensics were at her hotel room, going through her hotel room. And Ava says, why? Why would they be going through my room? She goes, to collect evidence. So they're going to get John Cates' stuff, right? Sonny and Brick's photos and the photographer might prove it was an accident, but Sonny won't help Ava. Ava get out of jail unless Avery starts crying for her mother, but Ava did not touch Christina. Yeah, she did touch her. Ava reached out to grab her arm and Christina shrugged her off. She did, but there was a little contact. I honestly believe that. Unless, watch, they're going to now, since it was kind of not clear for all of us, when Christina remembers, they're going to have her remember from her point of view. And at that point, we're going to be able to see, did Ava really make contact with her arm? But we don't know yet, right? We honestly don't know yet. She shrugged her off, backed away, and stumbled over the duffel bag and went out the window. Cindy says, TJ blasts Alexis like the whole surrogacy mess was her fault. She warned them all from the beginning, but they chose to proceed. She's not responsible for their choices. That is so true. And Wendy says TJ and Molly really don't need a baby. They're not ready. They both have demanding careers. They should have waited for the right person and kept their attitude to himself. Well, you know what? They could definitely waited, and TJ would not have been able to control the new surrogate's actions at all. They couldn't control they didn't even try to control the first surrogate's actions. And Natasha said Christina should never have approached Ava, which got volatile. She wasn't thinking about her baby. Conflict of interest. Dante never should have questioned Ava. Why not Chase? Ava should have never removed the bags, but I guess protecting Jagger being in her you said apartment, but really it's a hotel room, would mess up her custody case. Alexis is right, but come on, Alexis, stop. I mean, has a soft spot for Christina. She will choose her over Molly, unfortunately. Nope. Alexis is always on Molly's side. Molly is the good one. Molly is the perfect one. Always. It's been that way. Wendy says Christina had no business going to Ava. She's no match for her. Also, 8 months pregnant. She should have been at home relaxing, eating ice cream. Oh, really? She always has to be the truth teller. All right, that is it. That's 10 minutes of Comment Corner. Comment Corner. Thank you. Everybody go back and finish reading and talk. I mean, we're going to end up with 100 comments. Probably on today's episode, because today had some woo, oh my goodness. I'll be back tomorrow with another daily recap of General Hospital.